Welcome to MTG Ectoplasm, your home for Spirit Tribal and Magic the Gathering. I'm your host, Dwight, aka DeBlanco, a medium that wears an extra large. You can reach out to me on Twitter at MTG Ectoplasm, or you can email me directly at mtgectoplasm@gmail.com. Let me know how am I doing. Am I doing a good job, a bad job, or maybe I shouldn't quit my day job? Now, like I do each and every single episode, I'm going to bring in the young lady who's the driver, the engineer of the show. She does all the little bells and whistles for me. Let's bring in the ravishing one, Ravishing Renata. How you doing there, Ravishing?
I'm doing good. Just a little tired today.
Little tired. Okay. Tell me why you're a little tired.
I've been working on some graphics for a game that we've been working on.
Ooh, a game we're working on. You wanna let the audience in on a little something?
I don't know. Should we?
Just give them a little taste. Give them a little taste.
It's a new board game we're working on.
Board game. There you go. It not only is it board game, but it's pre-Columbian. Now, for those who don't know, look up pre-Columbian. You can see my tattoos here. Uh, Let me see. Like there you go. You'll get a general gist of where we're going with it. But we've been designing and having fun around around the kitchen table playing Magic, but designing. So ravishing. What do you think about this episode we're gonna have this evening?
I think we have a good episode lined up.
I'm excited because I know, we both know a friend of the show, the young man from the frozen tundra from Winnipeg, Manitoba, Canada. He actually stayed with us during this past weekend uh, because of MagicCon in Philly. We had a great time with Nikachu, and he gave us a lot of lot of wisdom, insight. But just yesterday, he ended up reaching out to me, Ravishing. I don't know if you know. And he sent me this deck list. And he goes, Dwight, let me share you something. There was a Pro Tour player who ended up going 6-4 at Philadelphia at MagicCon. He ended up playing an Azorius deck. Now, check out the deck. Tell me what you think. But there's a key card in the sideboard that nobody's talking about. Now, mind you, I went through the deck list and I was like going through and I'm like, hmm. And then I saw the card that he was talking about, and I'm like, I know the card you're talking about. Me, D Blanco, I had two of them in the main deck going to Philadelphia. And then at the last second, I was playtesting, and it didn't feel right to me. For some reason, it just didn't gel. As the French would say, it didn't have the je ne sais quoi, a little bit of the I don't know what. So I pulled them out and I was like, you know what? I'm just going to go with the deck I know that I feel comfortable with, and I'm going to run with it. So, with that being said, let's look at this Pro Tour Players Azorius deck that went 6-4 in Philadelphia. And here we go. We have an Azorius Spirits deck by Daniel Kristoff. Okay, I'm excited to see what this individual did. They got 26 creatures, okay? That's wonderful. 4 Mausoleum Wanderers, 4 Spectral Sailor, 4 Rattle Chains, 2 Selfless Spirit, 4 Shacklegeist, 4 Supreme Phantoms, and 4 Skyclave Apparition. Not bad. Then you got the spells. You got 3 Shore Up, 4 Geistlight Snare, then enchantments, or shall we say auras. We had 4 Curious Obsession and 2 Staggering Insight. Okay. Now the lands. 21 total. You had 4 Are Darkened Waste, 1 a Jonjo Seat of the Empire, 4 Hollowed Fountains, 2 Hengegate / Mistgate Pathways, 1 Island, 2 Mutavault, 1 Ottawa Soaring City, and 4 Seacrum Coast. Now for me, I'm going to be quite sincere with you. 21 lands. And on top of that, to me, I call it brown lands, but they're technically color lands with Mutavault. So that means you have a total of 19 total colored lands. Tough for me. Now, sideboard. This is the piece de resistance. Ready? The sideboard. You have 3 portable hole. Excuse me if I butcher this. Ready? 3 Skrelv Defector Mite. 2 Slip Out the Back, 2 Disdainful Strokes, 2 Rest in Peace, 1 Catilda Dawn Heart Martyr, which I like, I'm a big fan of, and then 2 Mystical Disputes. Now, Boo Crew, I'm going to ask you, When I went through this deck list, did you notice something different? That usually most of us, almost all of us, put in there? Ravishing, you are a magic novice. You are pretty much new to the Magic the Gathering game. You are what I like to call a magic virgin. Sorry. I had to put you on blast there. Let's pick this up. I want you to go through this deck list really quick. Take a gander and tell me what is unusual about this deck. What key thing surprises you the most? And think about all the decks that I've played with previously. What is unusual about this deck list?
I- Taking a quick glance at it,
Hmm.
I don't see Spell Queller on there.
Bravo! Bravo! Bravo, Ravishing. I'm impressed. You know what? If we haven't figured out something, Ravishing has now starting to learn spirits. Bravo, dear. Now, with that being said, she's 100% right. Where the hell is Skyclave? Look, wait, okay. No, zero Skyclave. And what's pretty interesting is that if you look there, Mister Skyclave Apparition bypasses this young man. Daniel decided, you know what, Spell Queller, pretty good, but nah, I need Skyclave Apparition. Pretty interesting. Now, if you look at the spells, he ended up going with three Shore Up, huh? And then 4 Geistlight Snare. You know, I know, we both know. We all know. Usually in here, we usually put what? 2 Lofty Denial, usually 2 Spell Pierce. What's going on here? Where are those extra 2 pieces of interaction, countering interaction? Oh, that's right. He put it in the aura section, the enchantment section, where Staggering Insight is. Okay, this is pretty interesting. Furious Curious Session and 2 Staggering Insight. Not besmirching. No, no. This is what I tell you guys. And young men and young ladies, part of the Boo Crew, sometimes we need to look outside the box to look in and say, maybe we should change things. Now, the only thing I have criticism, and I'll be sincere with you, the only true criticism I have about the deck is the 21 lands. I don't feel comfortable there. With the deck Azorius, I usually go 22, maybe even 23. But then let's look at the sideboard. The Skrelv the Defector Mite is a brand new card, right? We got down there for All Will Be One. It's a really unique piece, and especially at the 1 mana spot, why wouldn't we consider? Why wouldn't we think about it? Actually, I did, but unfortunately, I chose against it. Who knows? Maybe this weekend, I'll try it out. So, Ravishing, let's look at the first line, shall we? And here we go. We're looking at the matchup between Skyclave Apparition and Spell Queller. Why? Because that's what this young man did. Ready? Skyclave reads as 1 generic, 2 white, 2/2 core spirit. Pretty good. The only thing that's missing is the flying. That's the only complaint I have about this card. Flash, maybe, right? When Skyclave Apparition enters the battlefield, exile up to 1 target non-land, non-token permanent you don't control with converted mana cost 4 or less. Okay. When Skyclave Apparition leaves the battlefield, the exiled owner creates a XX blue illusion token, where X is the converted mana cost of the exiled card. Honestly, realistically, that's only happened to me twice. So basically, it's a portable hole for more mana. It's not bad. And the fact that it's a spirit, oh, it gets the benefit. It does help out whom? It doesn't help out Mausoleum Wanderer getting the plus? Hmm. Who else does it help? I don't know. It does help us because we have rattle chains, right? And we can play this as an instant. Now look at Spell Queller, shall we? A generic, a white and a blue. It's a Spirit 2/3. It has Flash, which I like. It has Flying, which I really like. Unfortunately, like I said, Skyclave, neither one. When Spell Queller enters the battlefield, exile target spell with converted mana cost 4 or less. Well, you know, realistically, that right now in Pioneer, we're going to see some above 4. But some of the best decks right now in the format are usually 4 or less. When Spell Queller leaves the battlefield, the exiled card's owner may cast a card without paying its mana cost. Ugh. I don't like that. I don't like that at all. But either they get, with Skyclave Apparition, they get an XX creature, which we can usually deal with, or they get to cast the spell for free. Ugh. Realistically and honestly, the package this individual went with was saying, fine, play your spells. You can have your spells. But understand one thing, my friend. I'm going to remove them. They're going to be exiled. You're not going to see them again. So who does that benefit? In the long term, by playing the control game, it benefits. The Skyclave Apparition benefits. The problem where I have with this is a control decks, and especially an Azorius control deck that uses what? Supreme Verdict. That's where I have a huge problem with it, because there's no way to get around Supreme Verdict. Now, honestly, realistically and honestly, Spell Queller and Selfless Spirit. That's it. No more, no mas. So, if your matchups, and most of your matchups that you face, you don't expect to see Azorius control, I don't see a problem with this. Now let's keep on taking a deeper dive, shall we? And here we go. Curious Obsession and Staggering Insight. Let's read Curious Obsession. 1 blue, it's an aura. Enchanted creature gets +1/+1 and has whenever this creature deals combat damage to a player, you may draw a card. Not bad. Let's look at Staggering Insight. 1 white, 1 blue, aura, same thing. Enchanted creature gets +1/+1, has lifelink, and whenever this creature deals combat damage to a player, draw a card. So I gain life and draw a card just like Curious Obsession. You're going to go, hey, Dwight, you missed something. You missed the bottom over here. A Curious Obsession. Let's read. At the beginning of your end step, if you didn't attack with that creature this turn, sacrifice Curious Obsession. So the question is, which one's better? To me, it it's like, I don't know. Do I like a card with turbo, or do I like a card that's just non-turbo? And do I really need the turbo? Curious Obsession to me is the better card here. The only reason why I say it's the better card is because I have to use less mana for what I need it for. What I need this card for is card drawing. I've been saying it from the door. That's why I spoke to Gavin Varhay. That's why I spoke to Mark Rosewater. Because the fact that we Spear players desperately are seeking card draw. But Staggering Insight gives us the additional card draw. And one thing that's nice, if we are falling behind dealing combat damage or receiving combat damage, the lifelink is a wonderful, wonderful plus with Staggering Insight. It's a wonderful thing too, because they say if I have to sit back and block, I don't lose that +1/+1 or the ability to draw a card if I have to smack my opponent in the face with the creature. So, with that being said, would I put this in? Would I use Staggering Insight? In this deck list, I don't see a problem with it. Because what we're trying to do is draw more and hopefully get the lands that we need to put it on the battlefield and use our mana effectively. That's where I have a problem with 21 lands. I would have gone personally in this type of setup, maybe 22 to 23. Staggering Insight. I'm starting to come over on this card. But I'm always going to use Curious Obsession until they give me this damn spirit that I've been begging for. Now let's look at the following slide, shall we? And here we go. Shore Up versus Loran's Escape. You know I've been talking about Loran's Escape for a while now. And you're going to go, Dwight, why would you give a damn about Loran's Escape? We have Shore Up. Well, hell, if we're going to use 2 white to sit there, 2 white and a generic to sit there and bring in Skyclave Apparition, why don't we just use the 1 white to you play Loran's Escape? Let's look at Shore Up, shall we? 1 blue, instant. Target creature gets +1/+1. Very nice. It gains hexproof until end of turn. Very nice. Untap it. I think it's a wonderful thing. If you're desperately need to be on defense, block with the creature, and or someone's trying to kill your creature, and you put the hexproof on it, and it can see also benefits with Mausoleum Wanderer. Oh, because I do this. Oh, you're trying to target my Mausoleum Wanderer. I put the hexproof on it. Now it's +1/+1. So from this point on, Mausoleum Wanderer is going to stay a 2/2. So now you have to fear anytime you play an instant or sorcery, I may counter it. And you're going to have to pay the 2 extra mana more if I do. That's why I'm a fan of Shora, but I'm a bigger fan of Loran's Escape. Loran's Escape, 1 white, instant, target artifact, which we don't give a damn about. Creature gain, this is what we give a damn about. Creatures gain hexproof and indestructible until end of turn. That's the same thing as Shore Up. But the same, you hear me saying it. Scry 1, Scry 1, Scry. I don't I'm like I'm gonna scream it till I'm blue in the face. Scry is what we need at this particular moment, so we can get through and peel through our deck to get what we need. Because most of these other decks that we're facing right now, they're gobbling through their deck. They're just chewing through and getting their answers while we're sitting there twiddling our thumbs, wondering what we're gonna get next. Not that's no bueno. Not good. So, with this being said, I would have gone with Lorenz Escape, not besmirching the pilot of this deck. So, Ravishing, let's look at the next slide, shall we? Oh, look at that.
Yes, we now have Boot Crew t-shirts available at www.mtgectoplasm.com. Get your MTG Ectoplasm merch. T-shirts come in all sizes and colors for men and women. And yes, we do have coffee mugs as well.
Let me just tell you, Nikachu had drank from this coffee cup. Well, not this particular one. If you have 2 in the house. Now, let me just tell you, he said the coffee, not only is it Colombian, but you can taste the ectoplasm, which I don't know if it's a good thing or a bad thing. But let me just tell you, you want to drink from this coffee cup. And don't forget, please hit that follow, like, subscribe button and share this with your friends and family. Because if you like the show, I know, we both know they're going to enjoy the show. So, Ravishing, let's get to the next slide, shall we? And here we go. You thought I forgot about it, right? No. I got to save the best for last. We got the Skrelv Defector Mite. Now, you're going to go, oh, whoa. We're talking about Pioneer, dude. This is a Pioneer deck. Why the hell do you have a Modern Horizons card right there next to a Pioneer card? Did you bump your head? Did you lose your mind? Nope. Let me explain to you why. Looks like, let's look at Giver of Ruin, shall we? 1 white, Core Cleric, 1/2. So it has a decent booty. Tap it. Another target creature you control gains protection from colorless or the color of your choice until end of turn. So it's basically a weaker Mother of Runes. The only difference is, Mother of Runes can protect itself, but this here gives creatures protection from colorless. Not bad. Now let's look at Skrelv Defector Mite. 1 white mana, a 1/1. I wish it had the 1/2, like a tough booty, like Giver Runes. Legendary artifact creature, Pester Mite. I say Friction Mite. It has Toxic. Okay, so whenever he deals combat damage to a player, they get a poison counter. Not bad. Skrelv Defector Mite can't block. Okay, that sucks. Okay, but realistically, we're not going to be blocking with this thing. In turn one, we're going to be attacking with it. Just making you aware. So they're going to go, oh no, I got a toxic, I got a poison. Oh my god. Realistically, the poison will never come in handy in the stack. But this is where the next block here is the key important part to this card. You can pay 2 or a white and tap it. Choose a color until another target creature you control gains toxic 1. Okay, not bad. And hexproof from that color until end of turn. Let me repeat that one more time, just in case if you missed it. And hexproof from that color until end of turn. So you're telling me I go against Rakdos? I, what am I missing here? You think you're gonna do something to me, my friend? You're not gonna do nothing. You, hey, Mr. Byrne, Mr. or Mrs. Byrne, you think you're gonna do something to me? You're not gonna touch my spirits. Now, say if we come to the point where we're at the very end, we're knocking on that door, and we're gonna send them right to the pearly gates, right? Let's read the lessons. It cannot this now, mind you, white and tap or pay 2 life and tap. It can't be blocked by creatures of that color this turn. It's unblockable. The creature itself becomes unblockable. That sure as hell ain't bad. This is the main reason why I considered putting it in my main board, where if you think about it, we have Otawara and a Janjo, the seed of the empire. And they get cheaper, don't they? If we have a legendary creature. Skrelv, the Defector Mite, is a legendary artifact creature. This actually benefits us. The question is, what is the right play here? Do we put it in the main, or do we put it on the side? Come to me for a second. We need to have a true heart and heart here. Is this card what we think it is? Could it be the potential new Mother of Runes that we can sit there and play? There's only one way to find out, and it's actually to play the deck and figure out what to do. Excuse me. Let's bring up that deck list one last time, shall we? This is what I would do to change the deck, personally. Just because I want to try it the way Daniel here did. Instead of the 2 Selfless Spirits, I'm going to put 2 Skrelvs in the main. When it comes to the spells, yeah, we got the 3 Shore Up. Realistically and honestly, I'm going to Loran's Escape, taking one of the land and taking one of those extra Lorans, putting it into the lane so I have 22, so I feel a little bit more comfortable. Then in the sideboard, this is just me personally. I would change it where, since I removed the 3 Skrelv, I would actually put 1 portable hole and then maybe 2 Spell Pierce, and then take out the Rest in Peace and put in Cemetery Illuminator. That's personally what I would do. That's what Ravishing. That's what I'm going to do this weekend. For those who don't know, I'm a nurse. I work a lot. I'm actually doing a double tomorrow. I work from 7 o'clock in the morning to 11 o'clock tomorrow night. So that means magic is done for me. But Sunday, I got MTGO. What do you think, Ravishing?
I think we need to put out another episode of MTGO.
MTGO? You mean MTG gameplay?
Yes, MT.
Okay. We may put on an episode of MTG gameplay where I can play a deck very comparable to this. Now, for those going, Dwight, really? You're not going to sit there and put Spell Queller in? Excuse me, let me get a sip of water here. Or a sip of, who knows? But it's water. Why would I put Skyclave Apparition? Why would I keep Skyclave Apparition in here? Let's be honest here. You got Rakdos mid-range right now. And the cost of creatures are less than 4. Then you have Gruul vehicles, where the creatures' mana costs are usually less than 4. You have White Weenie, where creatures are less than 4. That means these are tier 1. And then on the verge of tier 1 is Angels, which most of their creatures are less than 4. Shall we keep on going? Greasefang, less than 4. Red Deck Wins, less than 4. Mono Black, especially now with Phyrexian Negator. For those who don't know what Phyrexian Negator does, let me read Phyrexian Negator. It's 4 black mana, a 5/5. It's a Phyrexian horror. Sorry, he's not a whore, but a Phyrexian horror. Has trample whenever this creature deals combat damage or deals damage. Whenever this creature deals damage to. Whenever a source deals damage to Phyrexian Obliterator, that source controller sacrifices that many permanents. So say if you have a 3/3 spirit and you deal damage to it, you have to give up 3 permanents. You know what, ladies and gentlemen? That's awful. You know what that gets? That's awful. And you're telling me Skyclave Apparition wouldn't be good for that? Just saying. Just you tell me. You reach out to me at MTG Ectoplasm, okay, at gmail.com. Or if not, MTG Ectoplasm on Twitter. You let me know. Hell, do me a favor. Where you're watching this, put it in the comments. Am I wrong in thinking? Because guess what? That mono black deck, I see it as an up and coming deck. This is an up and coming rising deck, and especially with Phyrexian Obliterator. That's fearful. I'm fearful of that. But fortunately, thanks to Skyclave Apparition and the fact that I can work around it and use Portable on its other creatures, man, I'm not going to say it's going to be an easy victory, but I'm going to tell you one thing. Don't really have to worry about too much, shall we? Just saying. The only thing I'm going to be really missing while testing out this deck is the fact that Spell Queller does give me flash and it gives me flying. Well, unfortunately, Skyclave Apparition, on the other hand, is on the floor. But it does remove a creature, it does exile it, and I don't have to worry about it. So with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, the next time you're kicking your opponent's ass, make sure they say, that's bullshit.